Emalangeni lambalwa lengcile besibungata ke i-World Food Safety Day ngephansi kwesicubulo lesithi Food Safety Everyone's Business. Lokho ke mbukeli kusho ukuthi ke sonke sinenzima eqinisekeni ukuthi ke kudla lesikudlako kungabe kuphephile yini. Kuphina kuphi emakhaya emadolobheni naso komplasta khona samukela ehlelweni lakho Yilungelo Lakho, and it's your right, your #1 consumer affairs show. Mina ke ngisimpiwe Ngcongwane. Asisingabe ke saphulisa amaseko bekunele singene endzabeni ethu namhla. There are still growing concerns across the globe about unsafe food, which has exposed many lives to health risks, and South Africa's concerns are not any different. Now, the recent Listeriosis outbreak is still fresh on people's minds. And just recently this year, the South African authorities have again pulled off the shelves some food items, a move that has placed issues of food safety and labeling under the spotlight yet again. Asisibuke na umbiko.
Usawukhumbula lo mfanekiso wethi-70 tesitolo sekudla letaqoshwa tigezela inyama endzaweni lehlasimlisa umtimba. Uthini-ke nge-Listeriosis leyabulala emakhulu ebantfu? Sathi sisabuke i-Listeriosis kwavela lokunye.
20 people are in hospital. They're suffering from the disease Salmonella. Most of the cases seem to have come from one restaurant, but there are sort of other suggestions that maybe it's in other areas as well.
Sisabuke logo vumbu lomunye umfanekiso weligundvane lititika kulesinye sitolo.
So I don't know, maybe I'm dead. I'm going to die in the next 10 minutes.
Leti-ke mbukeli tibonelo letimbalwa letenyuse emaphapho kubathengi mayelana nekuphepha kwekudla.
The problem is that when they are making, we are not there, so we just buy whatever they make, but it's them who should know that maybe it's clean or something, you see.
You get into a shop, I was Yilungelo Lakho, prepare namhlanje noma izolo.
For instance, I don't eat pork, you know, but when they make, let's say polony, they use stuff that have pork inside, and they'll write on the bread like no pork.
Unless mhlambe kuyistoro nyane esincane somehow like iphaza shop emalokishini, that's when you can have concern ngama expiry date.
Siyadla ngoba silambile, there's nothing we can do.
Kulomnyaka i-National Consumer Commission ixwayise bathengi kuthi bangasithengi sinatfo lesiniketa emandla lesitsabuka kulelinye live lalapha evenkati lase-Afrika ngoba kusolakala ukuthi sinelikhambi lelisetshenziswa ekwenteni i-Viagra. Kuthi tekusenjalo kwaphuma lesinye sexwayiso ngemahewu ngoba kutfolakala ukuthi analokuthide lokubanga kusheka nekuhlanda kulabanye bathengi. Umsebenzi wamake Matlo usetati qinisekisa ukuthi kudla lapha eNingizimu Afrika kuphephile. Uthi bathengi bangadecwayi decwayiso letfana naleti.
We cannot say that we will have zero recourse as a country, but what is key for each facility and each manufacturer also or retailer in that instance, we need to ensure that we are able to identify the risks. We need to know how to do a recall.
Inkampani leyenda lamahewu ngiyo leyenda licwaningo yatfola ukuthi lamahewu anebungoti. Yaphinze yakhipha sexwayiso ngawo. Yaqinisekisa futhi nekuthi ayakhishwa etitolo. Make setati ukushayela tandla lokhu. Kunemthetho ke lobekiwe lapha eNingizimu Afrika lekumele ulandzelwe uma kukhishwa kudla etitolo pheceleti uma kune food recall. Bungoti balesinatfo lesiniketa emandla buvakale emva kwekuthi umthengi wakulelinye live ahlabe inyanza leyo. Umbuto ke kwekuthi lesinatfo simbunjuke kanjani kulabo labahlola kuphepha kwekudla.
Do we have goods that are still coming in through the back door?
Well, I think it's the reality, but we just need to be comfortable that whatever level of inspection that we do is sufficient to capture even ones that might try and take dodgy routes to get products in. So we must just make sure that our borders are not porous.
We will then get SABC to arrest
to make arrests if there is a need to do that.
Yeah, I think this will help. It will be a breakthrough.
There was an issue with health inspectors. Do we still have an issue with that?
Well, in the words of Dr. Mutsaledi, what he asiko right as South Africa with the number of environmental health practitioners we have in the country.
Lokushoda kwama-health inspectors kwenda kuthi nalabo labakhicita kudla batithele ngalabanzako.
If you've got a facility and you constantly know that there's someone that will come and check up on me, you at least become on the straight and narrow.
Lucwaningo lolondeka njalo njalo lungakwadi kugwema bungoti bungagendeki.
That helps with the data collection, because if you take samples, you take them to the laboratory, you can see the peak, if it's going up or if it's going down in terms of where is the rise of whatever microorganism. Call me and say, Mato, I've got food that has been in my fridge for a long time. What do I do? I say, smell it. If it doesn't smell good, then throw it out. So those are the things that we want to get the consumers to talk about. It's everyone's business. We are all responsible, either at home, either where you shop, either where you see at a factory where you work. We are all responsible because we must look out for each other in terms of anything that happens can impact broader people out there.
Uma kukhona lokungakuhlali kahle ngekuphepha kwekudla, ungahlaba inyanza leyo kule mininingwane. Zinhle Dlamini Mugabe, Yilungelo Lakho.
In studio, we're joined by Thezi Mabuza, the Acting Commissioner at the National Consumer Commission. Sinayeke futhi namatlo setati. She is the executive for the Food Safety Initiative at the Consumer Goods Council of South Africa. But usichazela kabande ukuthi uma kuthiwa ke food has been recalled, kusuka kusho kuthini? Kanti ke futhi ke what are some of the gains that have been made to ensure that the food that we consume is safe? Bomake sanibukela hleleni sanibonani.
Siyakubingelela Simphiwe.
Matlo ngicela ngawe i-Consumer Goods Council of South Africa, just picking up on that insert, what are the day-to-day business that you deal with? Yini kahle kahle leni indaba?
Okay, Sibulise Futhi. I am proudly Limpopian, so if I mess up the language, just bear with me.
You are forgiven.
So what we do as the CGCSA, we work with manufacturers and retailers.
Okay.
Our main purpose is to help them trade better.
Okay.
And what we do, we sort of have workshops, we get them together so that they can share best practices. Yeah. Where there's an issue that comes up, we gather around the table and say what went wrong and how can we then resolve it going forward. So we just there for the manufacturers and retailers, and mainly because we have a lot of legislation in South Africa, so we keep tabs of everything that's going on around. If there's a change in terms of any other regulation, we have to be at the forefront and inform them so that they become compliant.
And speaking of workshop, I mean, you recently hosted a food safety training workshop after the outbreak of Listeriosis. So who was there, who attended, and yini outcomes la phumile kule workshop?
Okay, what happened on the day, we were fortunate, futhi siya-appreciate ukuthi Dr. McCarthy from the NICD wabanati on the day, yeah, so that we could hear from the horse's mouth ukuthi how did they struggle to get the data and get to find the source of Listeriosis. So we had them, and we also had experts from the industry just to share, because sometimes we think that everyone knows of what is happening. We've got big companies, we've got smaller companies, so we have to bring them together and say this has happened. Bigger ones who have got the capacity inside, yeah, how can you then advise the other ones to then implement and make sure that we do not have this in the future? No. And what was key for the workshop on the day was that we need to find each other as South Africa. We've got many laboratories in South Africa, and we need to come up with a solution where we are at a point where we are like a CDC in the USA. We need to pick up, as we sample in our facilities, as EHP sample in the field, we need to have a portal where all the results can go anonymously without causing any havoc for any other person. And that data, you can see a rise. They sort of pick up, oh, in KZN or in Limpopo, there's a rise of salmonella, there's a rise of whatever microorganisms you can come up with. So that will help us as a country going forward. So we need that.
Siyathi ke ukuthi konke lokungena emlonyeni sikhambele embili sikubeka embili and i-organization yenu has been at the forefront in terms of food safety. So after the outbreak of Listeriosis, where are we in terms of food safety la South Africa?
Hey, kubalaleli emakhaya ngazi ukuthi siseselapha besikhona khona. Sizamile ukuthi njenge ingomishana ukuthi sikhulumisane nabozakwethu ukuthi ngazi ukuthi kukhona lokulekungendeki kahle. What we did last year ukuthi sibiyele emva njengemnyango we-DTI ukuthi sibonisane ukuthi kuyini lapha lekushoda khona, especially nakufika kuma regulations, because lokho esikubonile i-problem bekuma processed food ukuthi singenda njani. So bazamile bozakwethu ku National Regulator for Compulsory Specifications ukuthi ba publish ama regulations, but lawo ma regulations asesekhona phansi kwelona kwe public comment, and then i-business is commenting on that, and then from there at least from that side processed meat, then we will be able to move. But then sisesene problem yokuthi njengemnyango lehlukene njengoba Matlobe kasasho nje iminyango lehlukene lele bambisana ke ekutheni ukudla kuphephe. Sicala lapho ku Department of Agriculture lapha lekumele bende sure ukuthi ma product la kangena la eSouth Africa aphephile. And then i Department also of Health lele kumele bekhona etitolo kanjalo kanzi futhi nase kuma factories ekwendeni show ukuthi lama food inspectors asebenza kahle. So njengoba sesathi ukuthi that function yama food inspectors has been devolved, yehlisiwe kumasipala, but it's not functioning well. So ngazi ukuthi leminyango lemithathu iyabambisana kakhulu ekutheni sendeni show ukuthi whatever food that we eat from lokule kungena emaveni kusuka emaveni angaphandle ngene la ngekhathi kanti futhi ne lokule sikumanufacturer la South Africa has to actually we have to ascertain ukuthi kuphephile. But thina njengemnyango that represents bathengi, what we do is we will ensure ukuthi nangabe kuba khona, let's say tikhalato letsite letvelako, so whatever problem that you have, food poisoning and all that, we will just call ilona the manufacturer ukuthi kwende njani, especially nangabe like with this instance eMageu where in the manufacturer would pick up ama trends ukuthi engazi ukuthi kukhona lekusolekako, then we work with them with irregulation yethu or guideline a product recall ukuthi send show ukuthi the manufacturer sticks to the plan lesivumelane nayo ekutheni the bathengi kanjalo they have to actually be informed, and then send a show ukuthi whatever product inani lelikhishiwe then it's all being recalled, and then from there basinikete mbiko.
Now Timage, awuyiboni inqubekela phambili in terms of food safety nguphi la sishoda khona?
Hey, babe, lokulesishoda khona ukuthi kudla it's very complex. Then it's a number of regulators lawa la khona. What we need at South Africa nasibe sikhuluma ngendaba yelona i-processed meat and i-red meat initially sine i-regulation that speaks particularly about red meat labeling. Now thengi Recourse manje uyayobona ukuthi itobhala ukuthi pork 80% fat whatever, and then that was a regulation, but there siyesenda mbiko ukuthi sicele ukuthi asibe ne food agency because of the complexity of the matter. Lokulesinako ukuthi nangabe bantu bayagula and all that esimatlobe kashito asinako ukuthi except where in sithi it's a notifiable disease, asinako ukuthi sathi ukuthi no enzaweni letsite bantu bayagula isalmonella, enzaweni letsite E. coli, enzaweni letsite Listeria. So if ngabe sinenzawo lapha lesithola khona ukuthi the data itself we can bring it together, then siyakwazi ukubona ama trends enzaweni lehlukene, and then together that food agency can be able to say ukuthi no lana ngazi ukuthi i-processed meat, lana ngazi ukuthi just maybe inyama lelevela emaveni langaphandle, let's say lana it's only maybe issue food handling specifically. So asinako lokho thola mbiko lolohlangene as a combined data, but if besine food agency besingawadi ukuthi then we can move forward and get that data to actually be proactive most of the time.
Okay, asibambe lapho ke sisishelele ngasetolo siyabuya khona nyalo. Khumbula ukuthi you can also join in the conversation. Tincingo tethu ke ngu-0117146918 noma 0117146919. Ungaphinde uthumele futhi ne-SMS ku 33721. Uphinde usibhalele futhi ne-email noma ke uchumane nathi on our social media platforms ku Twitter na ku Facebook. Kwanyalo asisiqimishelele ngasetolo siyabuya khona nyalo. Emalangeni landlulile bekunene besibungata ke i-World Food Safety Day ngephansi kwesicubulelo lesithi ke food safety everyone's business. Lokho kusho ukuthi ke uma ngabe ubona lokuthide lokungakuhlali kahle ngekuphepha kwekudla kuyinzima yakho ukuthi uhlabe inyanza leyo. Mhlawumbe ke usebenza e-factory la kwentiwa khona kudla noma ke esitolo lapho kuphekwa khona noma ke ehotela kumbe ke e-restaurant noma ke ungumthengi. You can call us and share with us some of your food safety concerns. And sinema guest ke lapha to talk about the food safety and all those issues related to food lapha studio. Matlo, just picking up on that insert, bokhuluma nge identify risks. So if kudla kurecallwa, surely those risks or risk assessment hasn't been made.
Angeke sisho sithi njalo because i-processing angisho use factory. Ukudla kuyaprocessiwa. Phela i-microorganisms, they are very clever. Okay. They find a position where they are comfortable, they'll lay low and sort of not be visible. But once the environment becomes conducive for them to then grow, that's when you see things bulging and so forth. But what manufacturers do, they do testing in the facilities and they keep a retention sample, so they have to test. So that's where they can pick up that something has happened between the manufacturing date and as the stock went out. So it's like Mama Buza said, it's a very tricky situation because we're dealing with things that we cannot see. You can't fully identify if we were dealing with a stone where you pass it through a metal detector. The machine will go like beep, beep, beep if there are stones, and then you stop production and then you take measures. So in microorganisms, they are very, 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 very tricky. But what is key is all along, you need to check. Whatever that you have in stock, if it's a retention sample, you need to check and ensure. So I think that's what the manufacturer did, and then they sort of recognize that something is wrong here, and then that's when they send a message out to say, now we need to recall the product.
Okay, so kulok testa ke, does it involve ingestion? Baya kudla lokudla kutesta noma ke kutestwa ngathi sina consumer?
Akutestwa ngama consumer. I-test kutiwa, some facilities have got what we call a-positive release. I-product ayiphumi singabi sure ukuthi i-microorganism ayikho. Okay. But again, I remember as I was still working in the factory, we produce a soup. It's okay. I was working in the test kitchen. There, that's where you test everything. Okay. Tested the soup, perfect, and then it goes out. Gets to KZN, humidity and everything, the soup starts smelling. Okay. The soup had to come back. And when we test the retention sample, it's still sitting in the factory in a very controlled environment.
So all the other foods are tested through eating?
Not necessarily. We do chemical testing, we do microbiological testing, and we also do physical testing in terms of the consistency. If you cook it, is it the way we had intended it to be?
Okay. Yeah. So, Matezi, nangabe kudla kuya-recallwa from the shelves, should this be viewed in a positive light?
I would say that yes and no. Okokuqala nje singazi ukuthi if it's being recalled, that would mean that the supplier actually kwatile ukuthi no, there is a problem, and then was able to notify us. Kanzi futhi what you can see is that sometimes when that's that recall, then you would be asking yourself ukuthi is our standards really being upheld now? So it's two ways, because equality njengoba Matlo wakhuluma ikabili, if from the supply side, wherein the manufacturer lo khicitago has to make sure that quality is being maintained. But nasikhuluma ngokudla, sikhuluma nge-value chain. I think especially nakuthatha into lethi njengebotinyama and all that, wherein you will see that if you break that value chain, microorganisms, then ayaqala breeder at a particular temperature. That would mean that ingasuka the product ikahle from a factory, endleleni nangabe hlete iveni yaphuka and all that, or even the handling, then that contaminates lo kudla. Then at that instance it's where in now the manufacturer yena utshela kuthi no kudla kusese right, but then nakufika ku retailing lapho inkinga icala khona. Noma even not ku retail nasicala sesipheka, then siyathatha lenyama siyibeka ngaphandle nasi deep freezer siyayikhohlwa lapho ukuthi ngakusasa bese siyakhumbula ukuthi no inyama yenkukhu, then those organisms sekakhulile. So ukudla ku tricky ngoba that handling process ngiyole lesibangela inkinga kakhulu, especially njengoba bongabona ku that case ye listeria ngilapha lo ngabona ukuthi the handling part of it ngiyona lele ba inkinga, especially nangabe uthole ukuthi we all compromise it along the way, especially nakufika ku retail, then bese kuba ne cross contamination futhi sekuthinseka lokunye bekuhlobile from the factory by itself.
Awucabange ukuthi in terms of inspection kumele kube na additional inspection from the factory during the handling process and nasekufika ke etitolo?
Bekumele kube njalo, titolo umuntu lethi kakhulukazi thina njengebathengi lapha lesikhala khona ngoba ngilapho lokhanza ukuthi ma fridge ayaphuka kususwe lokudla inyama lebovu ihlanganiswe nefish. And then ibiye futhi ihlanganiswe nenyama yenkukhu, kanti ngesinye isikhathi ufika kulamanye amabhushari lokuphekiwe nenyama lephekiwe nalelihlata, it's all together. So abaseparateanga even nangeplastic or anything. That's where ama problem ethu akhona lapha lesifuna kakhulukathi ma environmental health inspectors ngilapha lekumele abe khona etitolo.
Kuyinginganyana ngoba especially nakunabo load shedding uthola ukuthi kude gesi for 8 hours inyama ihleti lapha yana uphinze uyabuya futhi gesi kude lishinjelo lwendako in terms of that. Let's take our first caller. Sina Dr. ulapha ke Mpumalanga. Sawubona ehlweni, sawubona.
Yebo sawubona.
Yebo ninjani baba?
Siyaphila kunjani?
Siphilile baba, khuluma nathi baba.
Ngicela ukubuza kulabo bothisi ukuthi manje lokudla lokutholakala ezitolo okunye akunawo ama expiry date. Mawuthi uyakuthenga uyakupheka la sokuphathisa isisu, okunye kunjengamasi njengobisi lolutholakala la emalokishini lolohamba ngeyigubhu ama-2 liter kaso. Nenyama ezinye ezingabhalwanga ama expiry date nazo ziba nomthelelo ukuthi zisiphathise izisu. Manje ungenzakala kanjani kulabo bothisi ukuthi singathola kanjani incazululo yale nyama ukuthi singakhona ukuyithenga or kanjani ngoba awukhona ukuyibona ukuthi manje expired. Uyibona mase uyiphekile lapho uzwa liphunga lapho le nyama ayikho right nalobisi alukho right.
Yathi Dr. ke inkinga ke yakudzala lena, it's been happening for years and yathini intethu ke titakusita ke ukuphendvula kulolu hlangothi ke after the break. And in the light of the many food safety scares that we've had in South Africa today, we're asking how far we've come in improving food safety. Siyabuya ke emva kwaleli khefu, siyabuya khona nyalo. Lele ke Yilungelo Lakho ke bekunene. Namhla ke sikhuluma ngekuphepha kwekudla ke lesikudlako. How safe is the food that you pick up from the shelves? Ungasishayela icingo noma ke usibhalele ke kuvakalisa umbono wakho. Now Matlo, we had Doctor and ukhuluma ngenfo vele lesikubona for years indzaba yokuthi kunetigubhu ke, I mean kunemasi noma ke libisi la titradini bathengisako, and mina ke ngifuna ukusupporta makhelwane wami kuleli bisi kunethe ngihamba ngesupermarket, and I mean we always talk of buy local. Loko kuyinkinga ke lesingathi singacedulula kanjani?
Well, it becomes difficult, but uma si simplify umthetho uthi, I like this word, you shall not sell. That's what the regulations say. You may not sell anything if you did not comply to the set regulations. So anyone who is selling something to someone, and it goes further to say, if I give you something, if I donate something, I must be responsible for whatever that I'm giving to the other person. So that's what we need to educate ourselves in saying, as a consumer, afford me the opportunity to look at the label, inform me in terms of what I'm buying. Either I'm buying it from umakhelwane or I'm buying it from a street corner. Everyone needs to comply. Sometimes we think it's only big food or big retailers that need to comply. Everyone needs to comply because it's for all of our safety. We have to get that as consumers to say, I have the right, Yilungelo Lakho, to ask, did you boil this milk before we tengisela? This meat we tatapi. islaughterishiwe kanjani, was a vet, you know, there's all of those things that come to play because culturally we just go and buy but until something happens with regards to your health, that's when we're saying, but I bought this from here. So we just need to be responsible as well and keep whoever that's selling products to us responsible to say, give me the information. By law, you should be giving me that.
Dr. Upinza wakhala ngekuthi kukhona kudla lokude ema-expiry date etitolo. Kuyangani ukuthi we've got such issues, such foods without the proper labeling, without expiry dates. Nangabe i-Consumer Goods Council isekhona, nangabe i-National Consumer Council isekhona, kuyangani lokho vele? Why do we still talk about foods that don't have expiry dates in 2019?
I would say at some point, consumers, like I said, we need to put this task to whoever that's selling to us and say, I'm not buying this until you tell me the information because it must be labeled. Every food product that is in the country must be labeled accordingly. And I mean, if you buy something that you do not know, ukuthi iya manufacturer nini, iyo expire nini, you put yourself at risk. Because we, as much as we call government to say, can we have a food safety policy which will inform how we do things in South Africa in terms of food safety? Can we have a single agency where we'll have people on the ground? Because I mean, it's in the open. Municipalities are struggling. I don't know if food control is key for them because they do a lot of things. So we need to, as a country, take this with the seriousness that it has. To say, for the safety of the consumers, we just need to put measures in place, either as government and us as the consumers, to say, you shall tell me what this is before I buy it.
Okay. Mathezi, kuna makengcongwane ke egasi lami uthengisa tinkukhu, uthengisa emazambane, une caravan futhi uyapheka lapha. And asibaboni ama-inspectors ahamba ayo-inspector lokudla lokuphekwa lapha kule caravan on a daily basis. Nyathi kona ukuthi umsebenzi wamasipala lo, kepha nini-ke ningena kanjani kulelo hlangothi nekuthi-ke nikhuthathe bantu ukuthi, I mean, ubakhuthatha kanjani bantu ukuthi bangakuthengi ukudla kwamakengcongwane lapha esitradini bahambe baye esitolo?
Hey, asisho ukuthi bangakuthengi kudla kwamake laphayana ngoba lekulokukhona ukuthi thina njengabomakhelwane, especially when we want to support ma small businesses, asibakhulumise labo make laba labaphekako la ekhoneni ukuthi make besicela ukuthi maybe nasitodla kube khona mande geza tandla, and then when you prepare do this and this and this, and then futhi sibaside nabo because they are small businesses, basafufusa labo make ukuthi sibakhumbude ukuthi no, go and get a little bit of education. Lwati nje ukuthi na uphekela umphakathi, how do you do that? But then lokhona ukuthi njengoba make matlo wasashito nje ukuthi everybody is compelled kwenda show ukuthi when you prepare even the food lokwendela umsebenzi and all that, make sure ukuthi you follow ama regulations, even with I temperature le ambience ukuthi na uceda kupheka, make sure ukuthi lokudla ukhipha at a particular temperature ukuthi abantu bangabi contaminated and all that, bantu bangaguli. But it's my responsibility, mina njengathezi ngimi lo lekumele ngende sure ukuthi nangabe ngiyabona ukuthi namhlanje ngithengile kusasa ngiyagula, I'll go back to her ngithi no, itolo kwendeke so, then today I feel like please do this and this, but nangibona ukuthi ngazuthi akungisebenzeli, please wena njengomthengi you are not forced to uthenge kulo muntu, just suka lapho ngoba if you don't support such a business, then khona lokho tofika kuye engcondweni ukuthi what is wrong with my food, then nakakuhlolisisa, it's either she will change indlela lena ngathi ngako some of the practices, or maybe she will close down. But besicela ukuthi akube ngimi njengemthengi lokulengimako ukuthi this I'm not going to have.
Hey, ingingathina ke ngebathengi ke siyanganembeza ukuthi nembeza uthini, hey angisamsupport make ngihamba ngesitolo nembeza utangilahla lapha. Kepha ke let's take another caller. Sina noNgcuka ulapha eEast London. Sekumole ehlweni sawubona.
Yebo ukuthi njani?
Siyaphila kunjani mama?
Siyaphila. Mamela ke baba nginenkinga. Ngathenga isuphu ngencane uyikwazi ukuthi yakabani 2 years back. By then it was not expired ne. Yayizo expire ngonyaka olandelayo. Mangivula le suphu anti uyibiza icompany ne.
No, yeah, ungalidi.
Yeah, ile suphu se plastic in it, then it's base cardboard tin. Yayibona it's in the cardboard. When I opened the cardboard, the plastic was sealed. I couldn't even myself open it. But inside the soup, there were spider webs, there were frogs, small frogs. Hey, when I jump when I opened this soup, Immediately, I took my car, I drove to ShopRite where I bought the soup, and I took it in front of the ShopRite staff together with the manager. Everybody was shocked. I even have the video of the soup. I still have the soup there at home in my house.
But now expiry date the soup.
Sorry?
But now expiry date.
Yeah, in my expiry date, but it was not expired food.
Okay.
Not by then, when I open it on the cardboard, it was not expired, and even the plastic is still sealed today. It was sealed by then. Then the manager of ShopRite tried to contact this company, and they told them about this. And then they phoned me back. They said to me, I must go at ShopRite and get the hamper for 500. I said, no, I'm not going to do that. Since I'm a nurse, I'm not going to do. I'm not that hungry. I'm not hungry. Why they and then they say to me, okay, we are going to give you imali to some sort of bride, and then Tina sizothumela a courier. Where are you going to send the soup? I said, no, I want to see you face by face. I still have the soup at home. It was having spider webs and everything, but the plastic is still sealed. And I opened the soup together with the manager of ShopRite, and the plastic is still not torn. When we open it on the cardboard, the things were moving inside the soup, and we didn't open the plastic. I still have the soup now. Sorry? That's why ukufumana amancedo uba ndingayaphi aba bantu ndifune uba expose, but I couldn't get help. And then the problem yami ukuthi ngaze ngasuka apha eStern Cape ngeza apha eSouth ngisize esikolweni, but the soup is still in my cupboard. When I was there last week, bengicheckisha ngicleaner, it's there echeckasini. La plastic yona ngaphakathi is still sealed and isekula cardboard. I couldn't do anything about the problem because the ShopRite wathena le company supplier yakayazi uba makenze njani na. And then when I phone the company is trying to bribe me, mandothetha thatha ihemper ye-500 eShopRite. I said I'm not going to do it.
Okay. Manungoga Hema guest ethu akhona la studio. They will advise you on what to do. And thank you so much for your call. That was Mam Nongoya ulapha East London. And when you are in a shop and there's a foul smell or you see some dirt, are you brave enough to speak up? Do you even know where to complain? If you've ever complained, what was the response? White for response. Let's see. Yilungelo Lakho siyabuya khona nyalo. We're still taking calls on 011-714-6918, Nomage 011-714-6919. Perhaps you don't know how to address some of the food safety concerns that you have. You can call in and give a tip-off. Remember, food safety is everyone's business. All right, Matlo, uyithini Zambia magenonguka? Uthuvula isuphu ukhanza tipayida utfola ticoco khona lapha uyithini nje Zambia nje?
Icoco, is it a frog?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's what she said.
Woo. I think what we can say is Umama took a very good and brave step, because you need to start at the place where you bought there. That's the guidance that we get from the Consumer Protection Act. You go to the facilities where you bought the whatever product, they need to satisfy you in terms of the responses that they give you and reasoning behind that. But I would assume that if it's a retailer, they wouldn't know exactly what happened. So if you're still not satisfied, you need to then take it further to the manufacturer and say, please explain to me why did this happen? And they can even take it further to the ombuds, but it's a long process. And we shouldn't take retailer ati asiphephise nangu okuncane ukuthi uyothenga another soup or something as bribe. They're just saying, let's meet each other halfway. We do recognize that something went wrong, but if they are not still satisfied with the response, they can take it forward through the steps until it reaches the ombuds, and who will then evaluate the matter and decide on the matter.
Yeah, and in terms of compensation, and now Martez, I'd like you to comment on that. In terms of compensation, ngibona ngani ukuthi lena ke bribe, lena ke compensation. What do I do if bank offerisha whatever money they offer me?
Mage. Yeah.
Ngicela ukuthi asibiyele futhi kulesibonelo besinazo Listeria. When that incident broke up, sithe kubathengi tata whatever product onayo uyiphindisele esitolo. Then esitolo what they will do is they put you back to a position where you were before you bought that. That would mean that nangabe bengithenga iphaloni ngithenge ngo 20 rand. That would mean that nangiyibuyisele emuva kumele bakunikeze 20 rand wami. So in this instance leyaka Mamu Nongcuka ukuthi lento abayenzile, it was not really something esingazuthi bribe, because what they did is ukuthi asazi ukuthi kulo 2 years kwenzakaleni kule soup lekhatha ibeke ekitchen ukufika lesikhatha afuna ukuyipheka. So on that kusho ukuthi then ukuthi there was real harm from ku supplier ilento le that we are struggling with, because I causal effect yokuthi lama weevils or whatever lokho kuvelile kuvele because from the factory or kuvele ngendlela lokudla bekubekwe ngayo asazi. But into ebalulekile iharm esitholayo ku Consumer Protection Act icala ngokuthi awubekwe esimene obukuso ngenkathi ngaphambi kokuthi uthenge. That would mean uzothola i-refund yale mali othenge ngayo. Uma sesiya ekutheni isincepheziso, what we call i-compensation, lokho i-Consumer Protection Act ithi thatha lokho ukuyise ecourt. Thina into esiyenzako njengo-Consumer Protection sithi ngempela umthengisi uthengise ukudla okungekho emgangathweni obunobungozi. Once we have established that, then the issue of compensation iye ecourt, because the court will say kumele sikuncephezise entweni njenge medical expenses, i-trauma ekutheni hleze iy'ngane ezigulile wangaye emsebenzini and all that. So that is for the court to determine, but i-Consumer Protection Act, it's only about i-refund.
Mama Nongcuka uthi-ke usesenayo le soup, it's still in her possession and unawo ema-videos nato ngetithombe. Bekumele ngabe wenda njani in your opinion? Bekumele ngabe wayithatha le hamper ya 500 rand lebam-offerisha yona noma bekumele ende njani?
That was actually njengoba uMahlowe bekashizo, she did the right thing ukuthi aye ku-supplier. U-supplier uyena ilona u-retailer, u-Shoprite, the store. Yiyo eyazi ukuthi bathole kuphi, who is the manufacturer. So the manufacturer nakathatha le soup uyayithatha ukuthi ayocwaninga indaba ye-batch number, ukuthi kule batch le ebabayenzile hleze she's not the only one, somebody or complainer somewhere. So it was the right thing to do. If bebamnikeze that hamper, because it was even more than isoup yakhe, and then in this instance akayidlanga le soup kuzokwenza ukuthi sithi she suffered bodily harm. So there was no suffering except the trauma that only the court can quantify. So in this instance she did very well. She can even now go back to the store and say, here is the soup, can I actually maybe be put back in a position where I was before?
But they did that ngoba uthi bam-offerisha
yeah, bam-offerishile, so she turned off that offer. And in this instance now, because Giti, you can only start complaining within that 3 years when the incident has happened. If maybe by that time now the 3 years has passed, that would mean that she would have now suffered with no compensation or maybe with no recourse from our side.
Since vele there is no common ground between manufacturer naye ne supermarket lapho ayithenge khona, what happens next?
What would happen next ukuthi nayifika kithi will just look at the period lapha athenge khona. If it's over 3 years, then in this case she won't have a recourse. But if it's still within the 3 years, she can still go through ombuds that they will broker a relationship phakathi kwakhe ne supplier and then the manufacturer. And then when that is done, then if maybe she doesn't get help, she's not happy, then she can pass it to us. But it has to be within the 3 years.
All right. Yeah, we'll definitely give you more details again, National Consumer Council and as well as Consumer Ombudsman. But kwanyalo ke asesithathe another caller sina anonymous lapha ke KZN. Sakumole hlele sawubona.
Yebo sanathat.
Yebo kunjani mama?
Ngiyaphila.
Khuluma nathi mama. What's on your mind?
Na umsebenza khona la KZN enquthu. Yeah, kodwa igama lami ngizokusho ukuthi ngubani.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, kuna kwenzeka leso store esebenza kufone. Izinto ezidayile zikhona, bathi njengenza nje example ne. Basifula ama-date ukuze ama-customers okhona ukuthi athenge.
Bawena njani ama-date angeva lapho?
Bathi
basusa ama-expiry date.
Yes, some expiring dates ukuze ama-customer ezokhona ukuthi athenge leyo mpahla le esu-expire.
Okay.
baphinde futhi ngisho ushukela osuke yabona ushukela masu umanzi engathi umanzi like masu umdala bathathe ama-container amasha bathi asithulele kuwo lamabhegi amasha ukuze ama-customer ezothenga kube ngathi into entsha vele yabo yebo manje bengazi ukuthi le nto ngizoyireporta kanjani and ngisebenza khona lesi store lesi into eyenzakalayo khona ngihlezi ngiyibona vele.
Yo Anonymous siyabonga kakhulu ukusishayela. Yo leno singayithini ke leyo ke Mahlo?
Hey, inkinga le, I know previously I think it was our Consumer Goods Risk Initiative, the division that deals with SAPS, Namapoisa and so forth. We're trying to get funding to get to a situation where we give consumers such as this, people that are on the ground, to sort of have a platform, either an app or so, because we realize that we get a lot of people reaching out to us and saying we've got these things, we don't know what to do with them. So we're working with various funders to say, let's have an app where we can have either a hotline or so, but the consumers or people that are working on the ground can then upload this anonymously, and then it will get to us because we work Namapoisa. And from that division, we can then see how we can help, but it's still work in progress. We're looking towards having that possibly in this year because the illicit counterfeit and food fraud, it's really serious. But I think I commend Losisi, angaluzi I hope, futhi ama details wami angawatata from the show in terms of us reaching out to our division that deals with crime so that they can see how I think the mid-rand raid that was happening, those are the data that we normally share with the police to say this is what is happening because they monitor crime as it happens. So we can look into that and then we can see how we take it forward.
Yeah, and you know, Matezi, I mean, the lenkinga like I show Anonymous, KZN, it can be viewed in the same light as Yaskumbole scandal, some fake foods that broke in South Africa.
Yeah. Kanti futhi lokho akushoyo Anonymous lapha yanenquthu sisi wenza into enhle. Okukhona nje ukuthi siye saba naso isigigaba esinjalo eFree State lapha abantu beba repackage khona ku factory ukudla lokho bese ku expireile. So nangabe unawo lo mniningwane lo ngicela ukuthi nje sithumelele nje just one line nayo ukuthi bengicela ukusho into ethize or nazi ithombe enginazo. What we will do is sizothola search warrant. Sizofika lapho kuwe sizokusiza ungahlupheki kanti futhi SA whistleblower nase siceda ukuthola I-search warrant uzobe we will protect you.
Okay.
Ngoba kumthetho ovikela abathengi it is actually prohibited, which makes it actually a criminal offense. Ukutempara ne ama sell by dates ama dates lawa okhiqizwa kokudla and all that. Please ungapheli themba, we will come there. Kanti nakubalalele emakhaya nangabe kuyenzeka ukuthi kule factory osebenza kuyo noma kustolo osebenza kuso uyaphoxeleleka ukuthi wenza into enjalo, sazise sizofika lapho with the search warrant.
With the search warrant indeed, and Emma details nangayo lapha on your screens right now. Wena ke Anonymous lapha ke enquthu nawe ke make nongcuka nawo wonke ke umuntu ke lobe aggrieve ngendzaba ke food safety etitolo ke. These are the numbers to call on your screens right now. Nyalo ke sasal careful if legcina siyabuya khona nyalo. We'll be right back with more on food safety right after this. If you forget everything else, remember that food safety is everyone's concern. Do not keep quiet when you see something that might pose a danger to the health and lives of others. Let's now take a look at a batch of Facebook messages that have been coming through. All right, Fallon Angel, Utsi, we people are not educated about food safety. We buy what is cheap and we do not check if the product is safe to eat. Begzid Mabele says, when it comes to us black people who take food safety for granted and some shops take advantage of us, you find big shops selling expired food with very less price, and due to the poverty we live in, you find us going for cheaper items instead of worrying about our safety. It's very sad, but nothing we can do about it because we want to put food on the table, and food education is especially for laba abadla izambane lapondo. It's worrying, but nothing we can do. It's better to have something than nothing at all. Given says, okay, I think government should get inspectors who can do these jobs every 7 days. Now, these will help our health and safety concerns. Dunumuzi Utsi, food inspectors are exactly like labor inspectors. They come once and never come back. The undercarpet checks keep people quiet, mostly from small businesses that don't go nationally. Siyabonga kakhulu bekunene Facebook messages and your calls and your comments and your feedback. How do you respond to some of these messages?
I think maybe if you can allow us, we at some point we need to clarify issue yama date, and I think consumer education is quite key. That's why we try and develop a few leaflets that we upload on our website just to get people to understand what is food safety.
Okay.
So when we talk about AMA dates, we've got several dates that are legislated. They are defined per legislation. I can make one example. I remember I was buying e-grapes, and they've got a sell-by. So e-sell-by is a retailer type of a communication. It says, by this date, I need to sell it. Okay. But it should be safe to eat when you get home. And we've got e-best before.
We don't have much time, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Matezi, just your closing comments and tips for consumers.
Bengicela ukuthi njengomthengi bandla ngiyazi ukuthi iphakethe liyaye lithi ukuncipha kancane, but enza sure ukuthi uma ngabe ukudla ukuthengile i-sell-by date isifikile, pheka ukudla ngendlela efanele.
All right, ladies, siyabonga kakhulu ukuhlanganyela nathi, siyabonga kakhulu, really appreciate your time. Khumbula ke mbukeli ukuthi if food safety is very important, iphathise kwe-teacher lotibeka lapha ku-room divider. Sifika kanjalo ke mbukeli emaphethelweni elihlelo lethu namhla. Many thanks to our guests, Thezi Mabuza naMatlose Tati. Remember that food safety is everybody's concern. Blow the whistle against potential food hazards. Remember, our shows repeat every Thursdays at 11 p.m. And from me, Simpio Ngwane, and the rest of the team, have a blessed week. Cheers.
Hallelujah.